What's up, guys? Dustin Yewy here.
And Canadian Big Bear.
And we are here with the NHL 14 wish list. So we made a wish list with our, I guess, people from our club and stuff. We were trying to figure out what kind of things we would like to see in the new game. So basically, I've split it up into basically just the major points. I was going to do be a pro, but I decided not to. So basically, we have EASHL, HUT, be a GM, just like gameplay kind of stuff, and the AI. Obviously, AI is a huge thing. All right, so we'll start off with the EASHL. So in EASHL, first and foremost, the AI is absolutely horrible. When the game came out, I mean, the game wasn't too bad when it came out. The tuners and stuff were just brutal. The other biggest thing was for me anyways, it's defensive AI in the zone. So like in your own zone, they don't know how to break out. They don't get open. You have a left wing on the right side by your right wing if it's a computer and stuff like that. So it's just a huge pain in the butt.
And the second point is team customization. So more logos, jersey types. It's pretty limited on the jersey types, and the logos, there's not that many. Like they used to have all like the old school logos, and maybe just better variations. Like some of the logos suck. Maybe they can make better ones and more. And yeah.
All right, next up, this is something I think would be a cool addition, arena customization. So for that, I know there was a couple, I forget, it was 2000, I don't even know what year it was. It was like
I think.
Yeah, it was like mid to early 2000s. When you did create a team, you could do arena customization. So for that, I just think like it would be cooler because everyone wouldn't have the same rink. You could customize like everything from the seats to how big your rink is to your goal horn and stuff like that. And I just think it would make it a lot more fun in ESHL and bring some more depth.
Yeah. The next point is actually really useful, just so you don't play a million OT matches in regular season. So having shootouts put in, that would be nice.
The next thing, and again, this is a big thing, team matchmaking. So basically, as it is right now, you have, if like say you're in the amateurs, for example, you can end up facing elite champs, and I don't think that's fair because you kind of get stuck in amateur. And I mean, it's happened to us, but I mean, we've beaten elite champs. It's not a big deal or anything. But for some teams that really just aren't that good in terms of skill-wise, or maybe they're, I don't know, whatever the case would be.
It's just not fun for them.
Yeah, just like the team matchmaking is just horrible. So like if you're in amateur, you should be facing someone in amateur, not an elite champ, not a pro champ. I don't know, or even if you were an amateur, maybe someone who is like in the lower spectrum of pro even. So it's kind of more even. Instead of just to oppose, like elite should stick to elite. Maybe if you're a really good pro team, you face like a lower elite team or something like that. But yeah, I think it's not fair when you're like a middle, like I guess bottom amateur team and you're taking on elite champs. It's just not cool.
It would actually be neat if you were a top amateur team and you played the bottom pro team, and if you beat them, you move up to pro and they move down to amateur.
Yeah,
it's kind of like how high school hockey works.
Like that, yeah. As well, like you could have it kind of almost like FIFA. Like we don't have FIFA, but just the way it works, where you go up through the divisions. I don't know if that would work as well. And then maybe like maybe there's 9 divisions. Division like 7 to 9 are like amateur. Division 4 to 6 are pro, and then division 1 to 3 is like elite. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of cool. And then you can like move up through the divisions and you play teams that are in your own division. Or maybe they could just break it down like that for like matchmaking.
The next point is shorter drop-in timer. So what is it, 3 minutes now?
Yeah.
So maybe like shorten it up a little bit, because 3 minutes is quite a bit, and yeah, not everybody.
Yeah, there's a lot of dicks that just kind of sit there and don't do anything.
Yeah, they screw around.
It's pretty annoying. To go with drop-ins as well, it's not really a big problem in like actual club games, but we were thinking it'd be nice to see an AFK timer. So maybe like if a person physically doesn't touch their controller, not including in the box, like when they're on the ice, like 1 to 2 minutes, I think that's fairly fair. If someone doesn't touch their controller for 1 to 2 minutes, it's just frustrating as hell. So I don't know. I feel like 1 minute is fair, honestly, but I don't know.
So drop-ins add amount of time in the middle to choose side. So 20 seconds or kicked. So like if you switch sides, you have to wait a little bit maybe.
Yeah, so
So
what
you aren't like constantly switching sides and like screwing around with people.
Yeah, what we're talking about is like right when you go in to pick your team or whatever, in the drop-in, like you start off in the middle, so it'll give you 20 seconds to switch sides and pick your team, or it'll kick you after that. And then also like maybe like a small timer before you can actually just switch to the other team or something. But like maybe they should make you not allowed to go back in the middle or something. Like I don't know.
Or maybe you
It's
have a certain amount of times you can go back in the middle.
yeah, I don't know.
Say, I
It's
don't.
just it's or maybe like your 20 seconds just continuously like if you move over, your 20 seconds stops where it stops. And then if you
Yeah.
go back, it continuously goes down still. So like if
Yeah.
you start off, it goes down to 15, you move to the left side, you decide, "Oh, let's go back to the middle." It's still at 15 and then it continues to drop. I don't know. It's just because I mean, 3 minutes is long enough. And people are just huge douchebags and sit in the middle until like 5 seconds left and then decide, "Oh, I'm going to be a cool guy," and just jump over to a side now. A little bit frustrating. So the next section is going to be Hockey Ultimate Team, or HUT, however you want to call it, I guess. Obviously, we don't have too many points, but and this is almost to do with versus as well. Again, the AI is absolutely atrocious. Um, honestly, they did work hard at like kind of upgrading systems and stuff, but I would really like to see defensive systems improved. They're just so bad. Like players don't know how to break out the like if you play goalie, the defense just rim the puck around constantly around the boards behind you, and like there's no breakout. It's just terrible. So again, AI is just bad. Like I don't know, you can just skate around guys and they don't do anything and stuff
Pretty
like
much
that.
AI in general.
Yeah.
The next point is packs are horrible. You don't get that many like good players in packs, and this is more for Yewy because he's actually spent money on packs. So if you do use money, maybe you were guaranteed a better card. Like yeah, instead of like yeah, because I've gotten good cards and I never buy packs. He's bought packs and he doesn't really get anyone good. So
Yeah, like the best players I got in HUT in actual packs that I purchased with real money, I've probably spent over $60. I got Brent Burns and Vincent LeCavalier. Those were my two best players.
my best player was Dion Phaneuf and Bogosian. So,
Yeah,
but
so
I haven't bought a pack.
so basically with this idea, it's just like there's maybe a percentage of like what player you get, like overall wise, and then like say the more money you spend on the pack, the more chance you have at getting those players or whatever. But if you use pucks, you have less chance of getting it. Because I just feel like there's no incentive for people to actually use money. Like for me, I did it because I wanted to do pack openings, but literally you don't get anything out of it. It's just pointless. The next one we were going to talk about was team training cards. Now there is player training cards, and maybe these would be like way like super rare cards or something, but just have like a +4 to shooting for your whole team or something like, and you can maybe only use like maybe 2 or 3 cards, team training cards on your team, or maybe like a goalie fatigue card or something to remove fatigue automatically. But I think it'd be cool if they were just like really rare cards, but like they help boost your team, almost like a coach, but it just has a duration, so like 3 or 4 games or 5
Maybe
games
not
or
as
something.
rare as a Crosby or something like that, but
Yeah.
somewhat common, I guess.
Yeah.
The next one would be neat. Outdoor rink cards, because you can have international and just actual NHL league rinks. So outdoor rink would be nice just because it's fun playing outdoors, and maybe make it a bit rare, but still, it would be nice to have outdoor rinks.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have a couple different ones. Like maybe just a regular outdoor rink with like just fans kind of standing around the outside, or
Or
like
actually just have the outdoor rinks that they have used in the past. And
even that, yeah, that'd be pretty dope too.
so
All right. The next section is Be a GM, and it's a bit longer because I play a lot of GM. Obviously, I upload videos about GM modes and stuff. So the first one is player training back in. Currently, there is no player training that you can set for your guys. Last year there was, and players would actually kind of progress during the season or like get worse. So basically, this time around in the GM mode, your players don't get better until the end of the season, and sometimes players such as, for instance, Dougie Hamilton, who I had in my Winnipeg Jets, he got up to an 86, but then the following year he got down to a 24 or 84. And he
24 is horrible.
24. He's so bad.
To the minor leagues.
Yeah, he went from an 86 to an 84 after like jumping up, and he was only 22. And for me, literally, there's absolutely no reason a player should get worse that's 22 years old. Like, they're getting into their prime, they should only get better. So I think if a player was to get, like, maybe there should be a big jump up or a big jump down, like, after the season, but then the training, like, maybe they have off-season training and then, like, during the season, so your player can actually get better or worse.
The next one would be extend contracts during season, like have players ask for a contract extension if they're doing good, they like the team that they're on. They ask you for an extension, and then as the GM, you can decide whether you want them or not.
The next thing with contracts is have contracts with the no trade clause. A lot of players in the NHL have them, like Sidney Crosby, Jarome Iginla, who's actually like kind of released a group of teams that he would actually be traded to. So I think that would be a cool addition to contracts to make it a bit more in-depth, just having contracts and no trading clauses.
And then Brent Morrow just waive his no trade clause so he could go to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Brendan Morrow did, yeah.
So, yeah. The next one is more player interaction. So the players might not want to play for your team, so they ask for a trade. And again, with the contract extensions, so just have more GM player interactions.
Yeah, so like right now, like in Be a Pro, you as the like pro, you can ask your GM and stuff for a trade or stuff like that. As well, maybe they don't like the line they're playing on. They feel like they could suit the team in another area, so they do that. And maybe if you don't kind of comply to what they ask for, they want to ask for a trade or something.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing is just something minor. It'd be cool if they had it. Just like a draft lottery type kind of show. I don't know if it'd be like a show or just like something, but like maybe like a number 1 to 14 and like have it like show the percentages of the chances of each team, and then maybe they like just pick balls out of the thing like a bingo, but then it kind of posts the teams in order. It'd be like a really quick thing, but I'm sure they could integrate it really simple and just so you kind of have like a draft lottery, because I don't know how it currently works in NHL. You don't know if there is a draft lottery or not, like there is in the real life. So
next one would be award type show. So the players that win each trophy, they come up and get it. And that the old NHLs kind of had it where they would come get their Stanley Cup and like the Conn Smythe trophy, but maybe like an actual award show where they come and get the trophies would be neat.
The next thing is during the season having player or goalie fatigue. So for this, obviously some older players get more tired as the season goes on, or if they play like a bunch of games in a row, or in a short period of time. Same thing with goalies. If you don't switch your goalie, the injuries have gotten a little bit more in depth, but it slows down the simulation a lot in GM mode. But for player and goalie fatigue, like your goalie can get fatigued in HUT. So it makes no sense that your goalie doesn't get fatigued in, GM mode and stuff. And also, like, I just think it'd be cool, like, maybe older players need a little bit of rest or something. But so if you have a few days off, like, the guys will rest up and their stats go up. But say if they play, like, 3 games in 4 nights, their stats kind of go down a little bit. So it kind of makes it more realistic between teams. Like, you can tell if a team's tired and not. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Next one would be GM coach logic. So backup goalies in playoffs and just being able to switch between them. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so yeah.
Kind of confused on that one.
Yeah, no, but like the GM coach logic, like they introduced the new GM brain, which is a little bit better. Some of the trades you still see between GMs is kind of outrageous, and same thing with players going through waivers. I remember when I was doing the Edmonton GM, like Sidney Crosby went through waivers and got picked up or something. And it's just like stuff like that. It just makes absolutely no sense. Like an actual GM would work around it and not send a Sidney Crosby through waivers for no reason. Like it just doesn't make sense. Yeah, so like stuff like that. And then like in the playoffs, normally unless you're down like 2 or 3 games, you won't put your, like if your goalie is playing really crappy, then you'll switch your backup goalie in. But like for instance, we played Montreal. And Montreal beat us the first game, so they decided, let's put our backup goalie in for the second game. Like, no team would ever do that. Why would you sit Carey Price when you're up 1-0 in the series? It makes no sense.
That was the worst in GM Connected when you find out that they sent like your top player down on waivers and then someone picked him up for nothing. It's frustrating.
If you did auto lines or whatever,
it's
stupid. The next thing that would be a cool little depth thing, hiring and firing coaches. Pretty self-explanatory.
The next one is relocation. So, Phoenix is in trouble. A lot of southern teams are in trouble. Being able to move them like to Quebec or other possible candidates for a new team. So, and then apparently Madden had this option. So it would be a neat little addition.
Yeah. Also with that, maybe they could have like an expansion team thing, maybe.
Yeah,
because like even with like they're making those like the 4 conferences or 4 divisions this year.
Yeah.
Or no, it's 2 conferences, but they split into 4 divisions or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So like 2 of the divisions only have 7 teams, while the other ones have 8.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be kind of neat if they like gave you an expansion team, and then maybe it like shifts around the league depending and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think it was like Blitz the League or whatever. When you played your game, you came in as an expansion team.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But you start at the bottom and you got to work to the top.
Yeah, maybe there's like a draft, some kind of draft system or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Winter Classic and GM. So for this, I think it'd be cool because you might want to actually play the Winter Classic in the GM mode. Like you might stop the sim and be like, oh sweet, Winter Classic, my team got in. Like maybe I want to play it. For this, I know obviously there's like trademark and copyright issues with getting stadiums and stuff like that. With like the NFL or the MLB or so, like whatever the case is. But I think you could easily do this by just putting in randomized generic stadiums. Maybe have like 3 or 4 just generic random stadiums and they just rotate. But it'll just be like, oh, Detroit Stadium or Toronto Stadium or, stuff like that.
The next one is All-Star Skill Competition. So actually be able to watch it or participate in it during the season instead of just sitting over it. So that would be pretty cool to add. And you could probably actually add that to EA SHL or something maybe, or HUT somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, I have that down below a little bit, but actually I probably should have put that in EA SHL, but we'll touch on that after. So the next section is gameplay. Gameplay is just basically anything from mechanics to physics to visual to whatever, like just nitpicky stuff. So first is obviously the visual aspect of NHL. Currently, like it's pretty good. I mean, they did improve it from 12 to NHL 13 with like the in-between cutscenes and how everyone kind of it's kind of got a flow to it where players are actually skating where they're supposed to be and stuff like that. But I'd like to see more like a more broadcast visual aspect and like maybe they show like better stats and like interesting stats and stuff like that.
Yeah. Next one, figure skating. It's frustrating. Like they can just like turn on a dime. It's not realistic. So like spinning in circles and then there's no repercussion. Actually like give or like maybe have them not speed up as fast, or I don't know how they're going to do it. But just when you deal with figure skaters, it's frustrating. So
yeah, well, I mean, like for one, like spinning on a dime, you can do it in the NHL, but it's just like how unnatural people like turn their back to you and just kind of move their stick back and forth. It's like nobody can do that in the real like.
Well, like yeah, in the real NHL, you can see like Crosby. He'll be down in the corner. He'll do like a sharp turn back. But like in NHL, you have guys literally just like.
They can just do that. Yeah, they do that like 10 times in a row, just cutting back and forth, and like they're just doing a figure 8, but you can't get the puck. It's just retarded.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because the hitting is just ridiculous. And so that kind of goes into this next thing, the physics. I'd like to see the physics get fixed. For instance, you get hit, like head on, like a head on hit, like straight on hit, and your player falls forward. Absolutely doesn't make any sense. The hit detection is just horrible. If you're a defenseman and you like I made a tips video where you kind of close the gap and stuff. So like it works a lot of the time, but sometimes I'll line up guys perfectly and go to hit them, and my guy just hits air and the guy just skates by. Like there's just the detection is just off. Same thing. Hate. I can't read. Height and weight of players should matter. So like a big guy should not be able to hit like or sorry, a small guy should not be able to hit a big guy like easily and stuff like that. And like it should be like momentum should go into play and stuff like that. Whereas right now, like some people can like just beef up little guys and just rock big guys, and it makes no sense.
Yeah, so like talking about the max weight range for players' height. So you would have examples of this would be like if your guy was, you made him 6'2", he can only weigh between 175 and 225, and not have like the shortest guy possible, 5'7", 275 pound, because there's no one in the NHL that's that short and is going to weigh that much, and so it's just not realistic. And another one is getting bumped. This is something that drives me crazy in Hut, is you get bumped. Well, even EASHL, you get bumped and your guy just freezes. Like, he has a brain fart. He can't pass. He can't shoot. He can't do anything. In the real NHL, they get bumped all the time and they're able to make plays. And this is an NHL game, so we should be able to do that. Or if you get bumped and you just get absolutely destroyed, like rocked. In Hut, you get tapped from behind and you just get destroyed. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it kind of has to go with physics as well. It's just terrible. So,
like, if you have momentum, actually have the hit work.
Yeah.
You know?
Big Bear went a little robotic there, but that's okay.
Domo arigato.
So the next thing, front of the net play / board play. For me personally, the tie-up is annoying and it makes like it hard to do stuff. But I think they should make it a little bit harder for it to be done. For example, the computer can just do a board play from 5 feet away while you're not even like in a position to get board played. It's just super unnatural. And the front of the net play, I think they should add like maybe a holding penalty or something, because you can just skate through the middle of the ice and the computer or anyone can just tie you up in front of the net. And there's really like no repercussions. It's not like you're physically trying to like tie up in front of the net. Your guy just skates through and gets tied up for no reason. It doesn't make any sense.
Another jaunt here is more deeks. Like, I personally think you're really limited on NHL for the deeks you can do. Yeah, you can do a lot of cool stuff, but when you look in the real NHL, there's so much more you can do. And going back a few NHLs, like you had like different preset moves that you could do, and maybe just make them harder to do, but reintroduce them. So like shoot between the legs, you know, like Rick Nash or something like that. So,
or like the Crosby move where he pulled it like on his stick.
Yeah,
the
like
lacrosse
move. Yeah, the lacrosse move and stuff like that. Make it hard to do, but at least integrate it.
The next thing, we kind of touched on this in Hut, but have the Winter Classic online, so you can play like your friends in the Winter Classic online instead of just in your own console. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah. Another one is All-Star Competition online. So in EASHL, have like players like have it another way to level your guy up more, and it's just fun for everybody. Yeah,
with that as well. I think it'd be cool if you had the All-Star comp, but like it was in 2 separate modes maybe. Maybe it was just like an online mode, is like you could take your like the NHL players and do it. MLB currently has something like that. It's like a home run derby, and like basically everyone plays at the same time, and then it just kind of records who did best and stuff. So I think it'd be cool if they kind of integrated that somehow, and like maybe had like fastest shot, but everyone just kind of does it at the same time, so you don't have to wait and watch everybody. Or maybe you could have the option if you wanted to, or something like that. And then obviously for EASHL, it should just be like a game mode where it's just like another fun way to level up. Maybe you just go against head to head with other people. And
I don't know how they would do it, but it would be pretty cool if they could take like the best players from each team and like in their aspect, and then have like them participate in a competition, maybe get more points for their team to level up.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It'd be cool if they could do it somehow.
Sounds complicated, but
yeah,
just a thought.
The next thing is different celebrations and team celebrations. Currently, like there's quite a few celebrations you can do. My old favorite was NHL 11 when you could do the swim. You would basically do the stomach slide, but you could like move your arms at the same time, and it looked really awesome. It was really unnatural, but it was so cool.
Yeah.
But the other thing is team celebrations, just because your team just kind of stands there and puts their hands up, and they all kind of gravitate towards the player automatically. So if you're actually controlling a player like in club or whatever, you should all be able to just do like sellies like FIFA. So like you could all just go down and start scooping the ice and stuff. Like I think it would be super cool.
And then game momentum change. So this would probably be best in like actually any game mode, but we face it more in EA SHL where you dominate a team, you get 40 shots, 0 goals, they get 12 shots and a goal. Their goalie should be getting fatigued for all that action and maybe let in a couple bad goals then instead of letting in a bad goal when he's only faced 12 shots.
Yeah.
But
Like I understand the fact that players maybe, well, I guess as a goalie, if you don't face a lot of shots, it's kind of difficult.
yeah.
But at the same time, some of the goals are just atrocious. I don't know. The next thing is better servers / matchmaking for internet. Now, I've complained about this a lot in Hut. A lot. For me, I pay for really good internet. I have 100 megabytes upload speed, which is like pretty sick. Like, I probably pay $70 for internet every month, and there's probably people who pay $20 and have really bad internet. But for me, I don't think it's fair that I get matched up against someone who has a really bad connection, and I have to compensate for that because the game is super laggy and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how the matchmaking works, or if it's server based. Like if so for like the options, obviously for one, matchmaking for internet if like one of the players is the host. So like I don't mind hosting as long as I don't get lag. The second thing is if it's server based, make more servers because like at peak times the game gets really laggy and it's just unplayable.
Yeah. So penalties, hitting from behind, actually call that because there's been some hits that look like your guy should not get up ever again. Kneeing penalties are bad. You see players get injured, like you throw a dirty knee, you know? So like actually add kneeing or what is it, intent to injure or something. Actually add that as a penalty. Fix interference calls, like you could have a goalie skate into you and you'll get a goalie interference. So maybe actually have it so you have to hit the stick or something, and then
Maybe if it's just
interfere
in a certain region or something.
Yeah, like interference in general too. Like they don't have to hit the stick; they can just skate into you, and then nothing happens because they never hit the stick. You know. So the half trip and diving actually maybe call what is it called?
Diving?
No, well, diving, but what is it? I'm drawing a blank here. What is it when they dive, you know? What I mean?
I think it's just called diving.
No. It's called something else. I can't think of it right now.
Is it unsportsmanlike or?
No. I can't think of it. I said it yesterday. Damn. Well, I'll think of it after. So, like, and then actually maybe add penalties after the whistle. Because you can actually hurt players after the whistle, so
yeah, it does make
that's
sense.
not quite fair, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's something you can turn on when you're playing like just regular versus, like without actually going online. You can turn on whistles after or penalties after the whistle, but in online, it's like anything goes.
Embellishment, that's it.
Embellishment, yeah, that's the right one. The next thing is 2 refs. Now, this is just kind of a thing I think would be cool to add. And having 2 refs, obviously, it adds an extra person on the ice. The ref doesn't really do anything as it is. It's just kind of in the way. But I think what would make it really cool if you had an extra ref, like obviously, I wouldn't worry about linesmen. You don't need linesmen. But having 2 refs, maybe each ref has like a field of vision, like a peripheral vision and like the straight-on vision. You don't see it physically, but it's kind of in the game. So if you're doing something behind the play and the second ref doesn't catch you, like because he's the back ref,
The first one, right?
yeah, like the first one might, or maybe you can like get away with certain things. I think that would be a cool
Maybe
addition.
sneak in a slewy or something.
Yeah, exactly.
They should actually add it so you can actually make contact with the ref. So like if you like hit a guy and like you guys both go into the boards and hit the ref, because they piss me off and I'd probably just try and hit them. But that would be nice to add. So 3 forwards, 1 leaves. D takes a penalty, and then forward plays D and not the computer. So instead of having the computer play D and make like a stupid play, the forward would take control of the defensive position.
I think you got that backwards.
Oh, probably.
No, like say if you have like a.
Oh yeah.
It's like if you have 3 forwards and like one of your guys is playing defenseman, you have say you have a computer D, right?
Yeah.
And then like the left wing leaves, so like the left wing is now a computer, for instance. And then say that left, or say your D-man takes a penalty, right? So you already have a left computer, like, player out there, right?
Yeah.
So instead of, like, making the right wing play defense, they should make the computer play defense so the right wing can still play forward, because it doesn't make sense how it works right now. Yeah, that's what we're...
that one.
Well, I kind of wrote it down funny. It wasn't really, like, titled
Sounds
to
good.
anything. One more thing, again, has to do with physics. It's like net physics. So basically when you actually physically, it looks like you score, you put it in, but it like hits like the inside of the post or something and just kind of drops and doesn't go in net, or like the corner of the net, like where the post and the crossbar meet, it just kind of hits there and doesn't go anywhere. I think they need to fix that so that you can actually like score goals or it doesn't go in. Like you physically know, not like it looks like it's in but it doesn't count or anything, because that never happens, and it probably happens a few times a game. All right, and then yeah, last but not least, artificial intelligence, the AI. Oh my god. All right. So first thing is first, goalies need to be completely redone. Honestly, this next NHL, I don't want, unless they're adding an all-star competition, I don't want to see them add anything. I want them to completely redo some things. First of all, like, goalies need to be redone. They were in a right, like, they kind of put it in a step in the right direction with the new anticipation that goalies have. Obviously, goalies are still bad. There's the auto goals where you just go backhand, forehand, and score every single time. Basically, you can still kind of toe drag and pulls the goalie out of position. Obviously, the goalies do have good things with them, but like some of the Spider-Man goalies, where they just, it literally doesn't make any sense how they save the puck, but they do. But then they let in stupid backhand, forehand goals. It just, it makes no sense.
And like unnecessary moves where they reach across with their glove.
Yeah, say if there's a loose puck like 4 or 5 feet out in front of the crease, the goalie goes to dive for it and just misses the puck anyways, and then your net's open and then they score, right? It doesn't make any sense. So, and as well, the goalies are really robotic in their movement. They like, it doesn't look like, it doesn't flow. It doesn't look natural.
It actually looks like sometimes they like forget what they're doing and then they just sit there.
Yeah, like, or the one thing is like the goalie when they fall on their ass like every time.
Yeah.
That's just, it's so stupid. Like I'll physically, as even playing goalie, I'll slide into the butterfly, but then my goalie just sits on his ass for no reason. Like, I'm holding the butterfly button, it doesn't make any sense. Why does he slide on his ass?
And not only that, when he's sitting on his ass, he doesn't try to make the save. He just sits there.
Yeah.
Like there's been like chances where he could have made the stop still, if he would have just like maybe moved to the side a bit, like fallen on his side,
put his arms up or something,
yeah,
like
desperation save. That's that's what it's for. Like.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's an attribute that they need to add. It's just like don't sit on ass attribute. You have to put points into it, but yeah, they need to get rid of that. It's stupid.
Don't drink before the game. Next one is defense AI, which is also pretty brutal. Because nothing's more frustrating when you're making a breakout and they just start passing it back and forth and lose the puck, cause a turnover, cause a goal. Just actually be able to make breakouts. And this thing drives me crazy. When you have a chance, you're penalty killing, and then they can pass it to you, you're wide open, you have a chance, but then they dump it for an icing.
Yeah.
It's like,
stupid.
Just actually have them think.
And the other thing, I forget what exactly would be called, but where they like there, you get a breakout going, but then the computer just passes it back for no reason to like the defenseman or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, say your left wing's a computer and your defense are computers. Let's just, for instance, say you're playing 2v2s and you got a center and a right wing. So the defense make a nice play, they give it up to the left wing. He starts skating. And then basically he's just like, oh yeah, well, he just passes it back to the defense. He goes D to D, and then the freaking defenseman decides he's just gonna slap the puck around the boards back to the other D, and it's just a mess. I don't understand why that happens, but
yeah,
they need to like just fix it.
And actually have the defense like hit, and like, because they'll just like skate beside the guy and they won't do anything. And then there's times where they'll bump him and he goes flying. Like, at least balance
the
it.
defensive AI is just horrible.
Or when they turn the wrong way. Oh my god.
Yeah, or like that example we had where the defenseman broke his stick and then skated into the other defenseman and pushed him out of the way and gave the guy a breakaway and he scored.
Yeah,
We have a
yeah.
video about that. It's ridiculous. Next thing, give the AI a freaking poke check.
Mhm.
A freaking poke check. And actually, this kind of goes into the next point, so I'll let you talk about it.
Okay, so remove the AI auto puck steal, and what that is like when you're skating, and the defense makes no motion to steal the puck from you, but all of a sudden the puck's on his stick.
Yeah.
So he literally did nothing, but he stole the puck off you.
It's just like a magnet.
So
like
actually, maybe have the defense have to do a stick lift, or
which
just
also,
actually
yeah.
make your stick not invisible. Like, so like if it hits someone, like I don't know how they'll do it, because that could maybe make more things complicated, but just make it so they have to poke it, or
I guess that actually could have gone with physics too. Like sticks go through pucks, sticks go through skates, and nothing happens, and then there's penalties for trips on other plays and stuff like that.
yeah, like you poke check and it goes right through
The stick stuff is just so bad.
Yeah.
The next one is just give the AI a hip check. I don't know. Like, they should be able to close the gap and make a hip check or make a hit. Like, just the AI is dumb. They'll literally not skate, and the guy will just blow by them, and they'll turn the other way and like, you're like, oh, what happened? And then the guy scores because he does his backhand forehand. It's stupid.
Yeah.
I just think it would be cool to see AIs give hip checks.
And if you do give them hip checks, make sure that it's not just
it's not every
random,
time.
like it's where the other player's in the position to be hip checked.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So like,
well, that's just like the hitting too. They just sometimes just stand there like pylons.
exactly.
A player will literally skate in their direction, and they'll just keep backing up and not actually like advance towards the player, and like kind of like they don't close the gap at all. I guess that would be the term.
Next one is remove the super check. So the guy will be standing still, and then he just hits you crazy. Like he just rocks you. Like in real life, the only thing I could picture would be like someone like Chara, or like someone big and like someone small, but and just like, standing up, but not just have them stand and then like throw you across the rink, kind of. So.
Yeah, like if say Chara were to hit like Paul Kariya. Let's say Paul Kariya was still playing.
We'll just say like the Scott Stevens thing.
Well, even that too, yeah. Like if it was just like a good hit, I like expect there to be like momentum and stuff and like an actual hit. But sometimes the AI literally will stand still and you skate by them and they'll hit you. And literally your guy will just go flying 5 feet. I don't even know. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Again, with physics, it's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And then second last point, AI currently has no zone entrance. So what this means is basically you'll pass it to your AI computer, winger, or whoever. They'll skate it. They'll go to the blue line into the they won't go into the offensive zone. They'll stop at their blue line and then just kind of stand there and not know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
So I would like to see either a carry-in where they actually carry it into the zone without you having to like get behind them and push them, or maybe they dump it in. They do dump it in sometimes, but it's just like I would say it's like a 10% chance they're going to dump it in. The rest of the time they just literally will skate there. They'll either not dump it in, not carry it in. They'll maybe pass it back to the defense for no reason. Like it's there's no zone entrance.
Yeah. Yeah. And the final point is auto goals. So backhand, forehand, everybody knows that one. So maybe be able to patch it, because we all know the first exploit goal?
Yeah.
They actually made an attempt to patch it.
You could still kind of do it, but
yeah, you can still kind of do it.
It's kind of hard to do it anyway.
But they did a decent job in patching it. So like, why couldn't they do it with all the other glitch ones? Like, I don't understand like why they couldn't, but.
Okay, well, the biggest thing that comes up for me here is I remember watching the, it was like the community live stream where like there was guys like Johnny Superman, for instance, was actually there and he asked a question, but like they had like a demonstration and the guys got to go play the game after and stuff, and they talked about all the new things and all this new stuff. Mm-hmm. And the biggest thing was like, oh yeah, we made the goalies so much better. The goalies are almost too good now. And then it was like, you know what, guys, like the goalies are good, but as the game progresses, you know what, we can patch it, we can fix the goalies so they let in different goals and stuff like that. Okay, so I get that. So why can't you patch it so they don't let in the stupid goals? Like, they can patch
Yeah.
it to let them have goals, but you can't patch it to make them stop goals. It makes absolutely no sense. Like, if you can patch it to allow the goalie to let in, like say 5% more 5-hole goals, why can't you patch it so they actually, like, make a play and, like, challenge a shooter instead of having them either A, sit in the net, sit on their ass, you know, like, fall for the forehand, backhand, completely misjudge the anticipation of a 2-on-1. Like, sometimes they do it perfect, and sometimes it's just like, what the hell are they doing? You know?
Yeah, like bad goals happen, but they happen way too often, like to the point where it doesn't make any sense. And then just it's frustrating.
All right, so I'm sure there's other things, but this was a huge list of things that we made. So yeah, this is our NHL 14 wish list. I'm sorry if it went a little bit long, but leave your guys' comments below and let us know what you think.
And yeah, I think that's about it. So see you guys.
All right, thanks for watching, guys.